Sandra Davis, and today I want to give you a little bit of information and demo on the upcoming Animal Techniques in Colored Pencil workshop. And when you register for this class, you will get a supply list. When you register, you're also going to get a photograph, a JPEG image that you can print out of this mandrill. This is the great creature that we're going to be drawing because he's got so many interesting different textures. So we'll have a variety of techniques that we can do. And I'd like for us all to have this sketched in before the class so that we can jump right into color and really utilize our time in the colored pencil. I'm going to post a little demo on my YouTube channel, and I'll put the link on my website as well for you to follow if you need a little extra help getting that sketch done. But for the moment, I will just give you a little taste of getting that sketch in to start out with. Now, once I get to this point, I'm going to have some white in here. So I really want to come through here and kind of obliterate some of these lines. So one more step before we're ready to start putting color in. I want him looking at me, so I got to make sure those pupils land looking right at me. That's one of the things that I love about this animal, is that kind of fierce look in his eyes. He's very questioning and interesting. I could go with this forever. I just love drawing. But I'm going to stop here and start doing some color for you. A little taste of what we're going to do in class. So when I'm working on a white piece of paper, the first thing I work on, the first pencil I'm going to pick up and start using is the white. Now I'm going to keep an eraser in one hand because I know that as I start putting it in white, it's so easy to start smearing some of my pencil, right? So if I start to put white in places where I see that I've got, I got color on my white, watch out for that too. Luckily I can still see the pupil on there, but I'm going to move that highlight right there. Make sure your white is clean when you put it down. My white is hardly ever clean, so I know better. I put it in the white. And what we're really doing here is we are putting in we're kind of masking out an area so that if I happen to go over that area with another color, I can get back to the white. Okay, so now I'm going to take my burnt sienna, or my sienna brown. Okay, and I just go round and round to color that in lightly. If I feel like I'm going too heavy, move back on your pencil. I know there's a tendency to want to go to the tip of the pencil for, we feel more in control when we're at the front of that pencil with our hand, but back a little bit. Now, notice I've covered up my white, but it's not a big deal because I can get back that white when I'm ready for it. Oh, these hairs are going to be so fun to blend. They're a blast. We're going to get to use some of these other tools in here to try out. I love doing swooping strokes of animal fur is really fun to do. Okay, now before I get too far on the bridge of the nose here, I've got a white highlight right there on the nose, and I want to make sure that that white is down. Luckily, I had a clean pencil this time around. You want to check your white each time that you go to use it. Now, I know you can't really see it on there, but just having it down is really going to be immensely helpful. Now, I'm going to use the pencil a little bit on its side to color this in because I don't want to go dark real fast. And I also don't want to come down too far because it's going to blend into some of my peach and my red here. Let's switch over to a brighter color for a little while. Get into this nose. I love this nose. It's such a beautiful combination of colors. I'm going to make sure I don't have too much pencil going on in any of the graphite pencil that is. And then I'm going to come in here with peach. Now I'm going to be adding some red, probably the crimson red to this. I believe is what I have on the list for you. And but I want to start out light. So like I said, the first color you put down is the dominant one. I don't want it to be too red too quick. Okay, and with the nose down here, I can color in the entire nose. And I'm going to be blending colors down here. I'm going to take a little bit of this graphite out because I can see that my hand has made a little bit of a smudge. Whoop, there was a hand again. Just the same old habit. Okay, so I'm going to color this in, but I'm going to try not to go through those graphite areas too badly because I'll smear them. I don't want to smear them upward. If I smear them, I want to smear them downward where the shadow is. I'm going to take my white and I'm going to use it as a blender. So let's go in here and just color over what I just did. And it's going to start making it smooth. It's going to make the color brighter. There's a lot of white right here. I can press harder where I see that there are some highlights on this animal. When I'm coloring something for the first time, you're going to be guided by me, so I'm going to tell you where you can put each color and you don't have to worry about it too much. But I use my printout. I use the edges of it. Sometimes I color in it to color test to see what colors I want to mix to make other colors if I really want local color. Sometimes I just want to, if I think an animal like this is so bright and brilliant, I come up with my own. There we go. As a matter of fact, why don't I show you? Adding the blue. Now, there's so much orange in this color that the blue is a complement to that, right? So I want to tone it down a little bit, just come in and scumble a tiny bit of blue on it, and voila. You've kind of grayed it down. It's not difficult to tone down those colors. Then if you feel like it's a little bit gritty looking, just come back with your white and blend it. No problem, right? Now he has a swooping nose, and I don't want to lose that fact that it's not just a nasal and then a nose plucked on the bottom of it. I want it to look like it's really connected. So how about those holes in the nose there? Okay, so we've got shadows in here, and shadows, I typically try to use complementaries for shadows. So I'm going to come in here with the blue, and I love to use Parma as the shadow. So I'm going to use that Parma Violet as well. We're going to do a lot of color mixing in this workshop together and learn a lot about how to mix colors in a pencil sense. If you are a painter, you already know a lot about mixing your colors. Happens a little bit differently with colored pencil, but not too differently. So you're a shoe ahead if you already have that under your belt. But it certainly is fun to just play and figure those little bits out. Start a little bit on these sinuses. I am not finished with the nose, but I'm going to jump over to the nasal passages. I want to make sure I don't have any color on my pink pearl. And at this point, these are big enough areas that I'm going to use a larger eraser to take that out. I'm going to keep my brush at hand so I can get those crumbs off and not have them bothering my work. And to put these sinuses in, these cheeks, I don't know, they're cheeks, nasal blue area, I'm going to put white down first. I'm going to do a lot of color blending in this area. And I'm putting it down nice and heavy. I just want to be careful that I don't have any graphite in there to accidentally blend into my white because it'll smear. Then go in with your indigo blue. Now indigo blue, it's really easy to pick up. Sometimes you're black when you wanted your blue, and sometimes you're blue when you wanted your black. So just kind of keep an eye on these pencils. I'm going to outline. This is a complementary to that red, so it's okay to muddle it in there a little bit to really tone it into that darkish area. And then this is where I can start looking at these lines that I see in here. And I'm going to use my blue to make these lines initially. So there's one up here. And I'm not going to draw the line all the way across on every single one of these. I want it to be a little bit less prominent than that. Now, if you find that you want to change some of these lines like I just did, I said, I want to move this down a little bit. So it's okay to do. Because remember, you have white underneath there, so you can change your mind. This is going to blend into this black area over here. So I want this to kind of come down to a point. Okay, I just want to keep going and going, but I just wanted to give you a little demo, and we will continue this when we get into the workshop together. If you would like to see how to get from here to here, then join us in this workshop. We're going to have a lot of fun together, and I hope to see you there.